Hey martial arts addicts all over the world, I've got another video for you today. This one's about one of the key theories used in the Wing Chun Kung Fu system. And before I start, please hit that like button, make comments and please subscribe to the channel. And with that, let's begin today's topic and I hope you enjoy. The idea behind Wing Chun techniques is that they are intended to be direct and to the point, following the doctrine of assuming that your opponent is bigger, stronger and faster than you. So, how is this supposed to be achieved in Wing Chun? Well, if we're looking at the theoretical explanation, one way is to follow the Centreline theory. And today, I want to give a brief explanation of what that is. The Centreline theory doesn't refer to one thing, but rather a set of guiding principles. Some schools of Wing Chun might not follow all of the principles that I'll talk about, but most will follow at least two of them, or they might have other ways that they understand it, which I haven't outlined. To begin with, I'm going to look at one of the principles of the Centreline theory that is mostly associated with the more traditional schools, and that is the notion of the centerline being an imaginary line that runs down the centre of the body, which you should aim your attacks at because the key vulnerable targets lie along it. So you have the nose, the chin, the throat, the solar plexus and the groin. Even though not directly on the centre line, the eyes are very close, so they're also a viable target in Wing Chun. If I'm at a 45-degree angle to my opponent, then my centerline target zone changes, as I now have the temple, side of the throat, the ribs and the knee to strike at. In this instance, it's basically getting the practitioner to strike sensitive areas that don't require a lot of force to cause pain. Theoretically, making it easier for a smaller person to defend themselves against a bigger person. The next idea of the centerline theory is it representing the shortest distance between your attacking tool and your target. Now, if you stand in front of your opponent, the shortest distance between your nose and their nose will be a straight line. That line is the center line. However, you're not going to strike your opponent's nose with your own nose, but let's say that you're going to use your fist. So your fist is in a ready position near your chest. You want to guide your fist up along the center line that represents the shortest distance between your fist and your target. The opponent who doesn't follow this principle but instead throws a swinging type punch is following an arc, which means their fist will have to travel a longer distance before it reaches your face. So theoretically, your centerline punch will reach its target before your opponent reaches theirs. And this is where the centerline theory deals with the doctrine of facing an opponent who is faster. Now, the last aspect of the centerline theory that I'm going to talk about concerns being able to apply a stronger force than your opponent can resist. Now, you're aiming to apply force through your opponent on the sides that their posture and stance is least stable. So if you imagine an opponent standing in front of you with feet parallel, if you push their left shoulder, their body can swing, meaning that they can keep their balance more easily. So in other words, it's harder for you to affect their balance. The center line in this situation could be imagined as like a plumb line running right from the top of the head all the way through the body and coming out from between the legs. However, if you push your opponent in the center of their chest, they can't swing on that center line. And if they don't move their feet, they'll fall back. Now, unless you take your opponent by surprise, the chances are they won't be standing just straight onto you like that. They'll probably be in a well-balanced boxing style stance with one foot further forward than the other. Now, the idea of using the center line theory in this situation is that you want to move into a position whereby your center line, this being the direction that you can create the greatest amount of forward moving force, is directed towards the part of your opponent whereby the force that they can generate to meet your force is very limited. So this is achieved, for example, by moving out of the way of your opponent's center line so that you are now at a 45-degree angle towards them. You've now moved into a position that is facing the side of your opponent that can provide the least amount of resistance. So your attack will be like cutting through them with a barrage of centerline punches. Theoretically, you'll be the one who can generate more force based on your superior positioning. therefore you being able to deal with a stronger opponent. Hey martial arts addicts all over the world, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please, as always, keep hitting that like button and please leave your comments. Plus, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, and a big thank you goes out to those who already have. Until the next time, martial arts addicts all over the world, peace and love to all of you.